Welcome everyone to the British Esports Student Champs. Today we are in the second stage of Rumble and it's going to be an amazing game. I am Nicholas Wilkinson and I'm joined here by
CJ.
So welcome CJ. Today we have an amazing game of SGS First Shot versus Resilience Mid-Kent. So now both of these teams are sadly coming away from 2 losses in a row in this Rumble stage so far. They were against Loughborough Lycans and BSDC Swans, both of them. And they just couldn't manage to scrape away with any wins as SGS First Shot came out of their games. They've only scored 1 overall and conceded a, leaving them with a -7 goal difference. As well as Resilience Mid-Kent, they were able to get a few more. They were able to score 4 in their games, but also conceded 8 in total. So a bit of a better goal difference for them, but it's still not looking good, as I believe this is the last game in the second stage of the Rumble, which is going to mean that they will be getting demoted down to Group B. Now, how do you think these two teams, they both came off of back-to-back defeats, who do you think will be coming out on top here?
I reckon, honestly, Resilience will be coming out on top. Their goal diff looks a lot better than SGS in the first games. So I think, personally, Resilience will come out on top, but SGS might pull it through.
True, they will need to have been practicing a lot away from the camera, and hopefully they have decided to put in that extra bit of work to try and just prove themselves, even though they are already going to be getting demoted when they're into this next stage of the Rumble, which is very unlucky for both of them. But they just want to prove themselves, to prove, even though we have lost 2, we did go against some of the best teams in this league so far. So we're going to try and prove ourselves here tonight, and then prove ourselves once we're in Group B. So hopefully we'll be able to see a bit of that. But as the table does stand, we do have Loughborough Lycans at the top, and then BSDC Swans. So they will both be staying in this Group A. But just overall for this Rumble stage, we have one more round robin which will be happening. We have a round robin which will be happening next week, and then one more after that, and that's when the seeding happens. So these teams don't really have a lot of time to be able to get into where they want to be and try and get the best seeding possible, and they'll all be fighting for this high group stage seeding position, such as staying up to Group A. So maybe if they do go down to Group B, do you think either of these teams will be able to climb their way back up to Group A after this demotion that will be happening?
I think it's definitely possible. It's possible if they try, but they're going to have to try pretty hard to do it.
I mean, there is a fair few good teams in this league so far, but looking at how well they played, both teams, Resilience Mid-Kent and SGS First Shot, they came away from a 3-0 in the Swiss stages. So there's a bit of questions to be asked. Maybe just players were a bit switched off, not really ready to go against some of these higher placed teams and weren't ready for how good they could be. Do you think that is possibly what could have happened, since, they were 3-0 in the Swiss stages and then came back to back defeats?
Possibly, that possibly could have happened. Another thought is, I reckon that it might have been their mental, actually. Could have got a few goals scored on them, could have messed up the mental, not did as good.
Yeah, depending how much possession that you have in these games, or how starved you can be, or even if just scrappy goals go in, it can really hurt your mental in these early games. And since it's a best of 7, you want to try and get to them 4 wins as fast as possible. And from the looks of it, it looks like both games might have just been a quick 4-0 sweep for both of them, which is horrific to hear. It will really put a lot of strain on them. But since both teams know that they're going to be playing against someone else who has also went to and 0-2 in these stages, I'm hoping to see a bit more of a fight from both of them. So like I said before, you have to try and get out there, because they want to show that they can stay in this Group A to get this seeding. And even though they are going down to this Group B, they don't want to keep dropping and dropping, which will be horrific for them to see. But hopefully we can just get a lot of goals in this. That's all we really care about. We just want to see goals coming in. So I'm gonna ask you here, so it's a best of 7, it's whoever gets to 4 wins first. What do you think these scores are going to be?
I reckon first game, they've had a bit of a warm up, but first game's never the best game. I reckon it might be a close game on the first one, but as it goes later on down the line, SGS might pull through, SJ might pull through, or BC, BSC might pull through. But
I mean, hopefully we can see one of the teams pull through. I feel like this could be. I'm gonna guess a bit of a 4-2 towards Resilience Mid-Kent. I believe Resilience will be able to pull through this one, especially since their goal difference is looking so much better, and it should be at least a fairly easy game for them because they've been able to score in the likes of Loughborough and Swans. So they are still both playing very well. But like we've just seen, Resilience Mid-Kent, they have more goals. It should be more of an easy win for them. Unless we see that SGS First Shot have been in the shadows and they've been trying their hardest, training away from all the cameras, away from all the press, and just trying to get as much scrim time in as they can to prove themselves worthy of staying in Group A. So it should hopefully be an amazing match to see. So what do you think overall score will be? So you've said that, you know, the first game might be a bit slow as it's a warm-up, but the teams might be coming through. Between the teams of SGS First Shot and Resilience Mid-Kent, overall score such as a 4-3 or a 4-2? What do you think?
Overall score, I think it might come close with 4-3.
Ooh.
Your guess with 4-2, I think that's a good guess, but by the looks of it, SGS, they didn't do good in the first games, but in Swiss they did really good. So I have a feeling that they might get a few games on them. So 4-3 is my guess.
Yeah, that's a very good guess. So is that a 4-3 to which team was that, sorry?
To Resilience.
To Resilience. So we're both thinking about Resilience, but here we are. We're finally getting into the games. That's what we like to see. And we're already 10 seconds into it. Let's see which team will be coming out on top. As it's Drift from SGS First Shot. A lot of boost on the available for him to use as he's going up towards the back ball, but it gets pushed away by Dexterity. And Dexterity was able to try and get the ball away as it's going towards the net of First Shot. And the ball's just getting pushed away over towards Oxtris, who's able to get the touch over and gets beaten to the ball by the team of SGS First Shot. But it's still back over towards Resilience, as Resilience are going to be pushing it back down towards First Shot's side of the ball, the net, and Dexter's gets the demolition over towards Killer Boss, but it doesn't even matter because the ball just goes in and it's assist from Killer Boss. And that's the first goal on the board for SGS First Shot against Resilience. Only 50 seconds into this game, and it's still anyone to play for. So it's looking like SGS First Shot have finally got their second goal of the Rumble stage so far. So it's looking very good from them so far. You know, 50 seconds only played, still all to play for. Let's just see how they can come back from this, because Resilience will need to try and make a bit of pressure towards the side of SGS First Shot. But it's another shot coming out from Symmetry as it's getting cleared away by Resilience, but not as far as the defense of SGS First Shot, as the ball's just getting a bit scrappy here over towards the side of SGS's First Shot's net. But it's recovered over by the likes of Resilience. Just missed the ball, but going to be taking it back, just taking their time as they're playing around on the wall, but Resilience pushing it back over towards First Shot's net. And it's a good save. Another shot coming out, but Symmetry getting another save again. He's just all over the pitch so far. Got the goal, was able to get a good save there to keep Resilience away from their net and keeping it 1-0 so far. 3 minutes left to play. Still all to play for.
See, with that first goal off SGS, I think the tactic that they used there was pretty good. If we see more of that, I feel like they might pull through with the win. But it depends how Resilience play from here.
Well, it was quite unlucky as the side of Resilience were able to get a demolition over towards the side of SGS First Shot. But it didn't really matter as the collision just pushed them away from the ball, and it was an easy assist for Killer Boss over towards Symmetry, who just slotted it away. And the defensive Resilience... the defensive Resilience just didn't really seem to be anywhere, but it's an open net now, but Symmetry able to take his time with the ball. Over towards the likes of Dexter's, as Dexter's is going to try and push it up towards Dextrex, but just misses the ball. Now back over towards Resilience's half. A nice 50-50 over there, just as far as the backboard, But it's a nice shot over towards from Symmetry, over towards Resilience's net. But Dextrax able to keep it calm, able to take his time. And a bit of a bump onto their teammates there, but it doesn't matter as it's over towards Dexter's, and the shot gets away, but just pushed away as the aerial's coming out. It's great defense from the side of SGS First Shot as they're still trying to hang on to this lead for as long as they can. Apparently Cold getting the shot away over to Dexter's, and Dexter's just sets himself up. It's a great shot over towards the post, and he got quite lucky there for it to fall back towards him and get that extra shot away. And that is the first goal for Resilience and SGS First Shot. Let's hope they just don't get too ruffled by this.
See, when he went up for the ball to go for the air dribble, he didn't hit right. I feel like he could have scored a goal there. But by the looks of it, the defence on both teams isn't too good at the moment. Could just be the warm-up, but...
Well, I mean, a warm-up it might be, but Resilience has then got a second on the board as Dexter's off the wall over towards that far post. And Symmetry just wasn't able to get towards the ball. He was so close, but just shy of hitting that ball away from the net and sadly conceding. As the kickoff is coming in, it's a bit scrappy all the way in the middle of the field, but Symmetry able to come and collect the ball as he's going for the flip reset. And it's a great shot onto the target, but apparently Cole taking the possible prospects of that goal away from Resilience. And now they are on the attack. They're just not able to do much with it, but it doesn't matter. I eat my words. It was straight away. I thought he missed the ball, but it bounced off that backboard, fell straight into the wheels of apparently Cold, and he slots that away perfectly with a lovely air dribble up, well, aerial up into the air, and slots that down. A lovely slam dunk from the side of Resilience, and they are now 3-1 up. But still a minute to play, and as we know, we have seen it many a times in Rocket League. It is still all to play for. And apparently Cole just trying to get away onto that ball there in the challenge, but doesn't go that far as there's a lot of bodies flying up for that ball of the side of SGS First Shot as the pinch is coming out over from Drift. Drift chasing the ball up the pitch, but apparently Cole is able to step in there and get the defensive block in. And it's going back over towards him. It's a lovely pass into the middle, and Killer Boss is just shy away from it. And it's a great save from Drift as that shot was surely to go in if he wasn't able to cover that position. But the pass coming in from Dexter's over towards apparently Cold wasn't able to do much with it as he was thrown away from the ball. But that doesn't really matter as the ball's coming in and it's cleared. Oh, it's just off the post. It's so close for the side of Resilience as they're trying to get their fourth in this game and shut this out. Only 20 seconds left on this clock, and it's looking like this first match will be going towards the side of Resilience. An aerial coming out there from Dextrax. Apparently Cole trying to get the scraps of it, but not able to get anything away from it. It's cleared by Symmetry, but not as far as Dexter's, who's going to be pushing this back in, and the pinch coming out from apparently Cold, and 1 second on the clock. As soon as this ball touches, it is over, but it will be a first round win to Resilience as SGS First Shot were just trying to get that little bit of extra consolation there, just trying to make it seem as if it was a closer game than what it could have been, as it was 3-1. But look at that, Dexter's 2 goals in 7 shots. It's amazing from Dexter's there. And then another apparently Cold getting that first shot away, which allowed him just to get, he got that assist at the start, and it was so amazing for them. It was just able to boost off their momentum, and it was a great game. Do we think we'll see anything more, any more tighter scores, or even major upsets coming in these next few games?
See, I saw that game. I saw SGS score at the start, and I don't know if that was luck or if that was intended, but that was a pretty good goal. And the play that Resilience did near the end, where Dexter's demoed them 2 people, they had a chance to score, but they just missed it because the ball went past the goal.
It was a very close chance by Dexter. It was great demolitions over towards the side of SGS First Shot, but it was just shy away from that net, and they weren't able to take that chance and fully put this game to bed with a 4-1 win. But I do believe, like you said, that first goal, it did seem quite strange. It was a demolition from the side of Resilience over towards SGS First Shot, but it was taken away as they were able to get on that counter-attack, and then they just got an easy score. And I thought that would have been a lovely score to see, like a lovely side just to push them so much forward. But here we are into the second game. Let's see if there's going to be any early goals in Symmetry. Just clearing that ball early and taking it just as far as Dexter's. It doesn't look like there is any roster changes today, as we did see a few times in their last game when we saw Resilience play. But Dextrax is kicking this game off strong, 15 seconds in already, and that is a goal towards Resilience. Do you think we'll see any more goals?
I think we will this game, unless SGS have had a talk and thought about what they want to do.
They really do need to have a little bit of a sit down, a bit of a team talk, because there's only minimum of 3 more games possible. But Killer Boss looking like he's just going to be trying to take a bit of a demolition route over towards Resilience. As we saw last game, he was getting a lot of demolitions over onto the side of Resilience, and now he's getting another one so early into this game. But First Shot weren't able to do anything with it, as Dexter's takes the ball up into the air. Not able to do much with it, as Symmetry was challenging him up into the air. But it's a nice hit away from Symmetry, back over towards the side of Resilience, but cleared away by Dextrax, as Dexter's is going up into the sky, but it's cleared down by Symmetry, and it's a nice little pop shot, but just hitting the crossbar, as apparently Cold was coming in there for the side and was trying to get that hit away, but he's getting the ball yet again over towards Dextrax. He's going to be pushing it back into the middle over towards Dexter's, and it's a nice hit down, but just didn't clip it the way that he wanted to. And now Symmetry 50-50 over this side with Dextrax, as Dexter's is chasing him, but he's got the ball tight on him. But it doesn't matter, as apparently Cold is going up in the air, but no boost to work with. He needs to try and get a bit of boost here as he's trying to track back over towards his net for the rotation. But he's just getting absolutely starved by Symmetry over here in Drift. And now the ball is back in the hands of Resilience, as it's pushing over towards the middle of the pitch. And it's just such domination by the side of Resilience here. And it's a lovely shot away, but Killer Boss able to take his time. And hit that ball away. It's another save by Killer Shot. And another, again, Killer Boss is just absolutely dominating this defensive side and just able to keep First Shot in this. And there's another save coming out, as apparently Cold gets away his 3rd shot of this match so far. And yet again, over towards this corner, playing it over towards Dextrax. Dextrax just a bit too heavy on that, but apparently Cold is able to clear this up and push it back into the side of First Shot. Is they're taking so much pressure on the side of First Shot. They're not able to clear it away. They're not able to get a little bit of breathing room, as it's all mainly Resilience here. But it's a nice shot away, but an even better save by apparently Cold, as they're just toying with them so far. They're just not letting them get any sort of chances and not allowing them to have any sort of prospects in this game. But the 50-50 coming out from Killer Boss, it was a bit short, as it's going to be getting pushed back into towards the midfield. But now Dexter's able to take his time, pushing it over the edge, and it's going to be hitting off the post, but it doesn't matter, as apparently Cold is there just to slot it away. And that is 2-0 towards Resilience with 2 minutes left on the clock. Can they do anything about this?
Resilience there played pretty well, but I feel like they were just up the pitch too much. Yes, when they brought it down, they were able to clear it, take it back up onto SGS's side, but I feel like Resilience is getting too confident with this.
Yeah, there's nothing for them to not be confident about. They are absolutely dominating this game so far with possession and attacking front on this. They haven't even needed to defend apart from one time where the ball was just scrappily going around, but it doesn't even matter, because there is a possible another goal, but it's a great save by Symmetry. What a save from the side of SGS First Shot, and that could possibly keep them still in this game. And Symmetry taking it up onto the back ball, but apparently Cole pushing it back over towards Dextrax, as it's falling back towards the defense. A nice back bump over from Dexter's, as he's going to be taking the 100 boost to get ready for this defense, but it doesn't matter, as apparently Cold is able to take his time, going for the 100 boost, and now the wall climb into the aerial, but wasn't able to get good control of that ball. But it still doesn't even matter, because even if it flies away from him, he still has his whole team backing him up on this side. Is the side of SGS First Shot is still scrappily just trying to stay in this game, but only a minute left. They need to be answering the questions. They need to be getting the shots away on goal and trying to get it out of their own half. And this could be a perfect opportunity, as long as Dextrax just doesn't get to it. And it looks like Symmetry was able to play with that ball well, as it flies over the side of Dexter's, but just off the post. Now it is SGS First Shot on this attack. Symmetry with the halflet, not able to get control of the ball, as it's taken over him by Dextrax. Killer Boss getting the block away. and trying to keep SGS first shot away from another impending 37 seconds of just constant attack from this resilient side as a ball is going up. 3 men are up from both sides. But it doesn't even matter as the shot's coming away and it just slyly hits off the post. Dextrex not able to get anything off it as is now bumped over the side of Dexter's as apparently Cole is going to be using his rotation with the aerial and the boost just slightly running out. But was Supersonics are able to get there in time and Dextrex just trying to push it over, but 8 seconds left on the clock. Let's see, apparently Cole bumming it up. It's a save from him. Trying to get anything that he can, but 2 seconds left on the clock, and that is it. It is a resilience win again. 2-0 already in this Nationals Week 6. The second game of the Rumble, or third game of the Rumble, sorry, and it's just looking all resilience here. It's quite a one-way street, if you ask me. There's no chance of SGS first shot coming back, and it was so dominated by the side of resilience there, just being able to constant attack. How do you think SGS first shot need to change their game plan in order to try and get a few goals or even possibly win one round in this?
I feel like resilience, they're pretty good. They have all reasons to be confident, but you never know. Anytime SGS could pull it back, but I feel like they need to have a talk during this break and figure out what they need to do with the tactics, because that game they just could not take anything. They weren't able to clear it. I think they got one clearance goes down and they couldn't get the shot on. They just need to pull it back.
I feel like SGS were quite lucky there not to only have conceded 2 goals. I mean, the defense, it was very strong for the most part, but it was still just lacking the being able to get out of there, get out of their own half and get the attack on. But we'll be going shortly into this next game, this round 3. And this is all to play for SGS. Resilience, they can take their time, they can make it easy. And from what they're doing, it just seems like this will be another round win towards Resilience as we're going to be getting into this and the kick-off is starting. What have you got on this game? Who do you think is winning? 5 minutes on the clock. Still all to play for.
I think Resilience might win this, depending on the way they've played so far, if they play that way.
Well, I mean, it's looking like a possible early goal from SGS first shot, but Symmetry just shy of the net as it falls away. There was no defense, there was no rotations there as 3 men of the SGS first shots were all up into there and just left that defense wide open. And it was such an easy shot, an open goal, and it's already 1-0. So short into this game again, another 15-second goal. And it's just such a crazy statement from them. They've came out of this game. The first one, they conceded the goal early. And these next 2 games, they've just answered so fast. But on the verge of answering, you know, we have Symmetry here getting a goal for the side of SGS first shot. That is their 3rd goal, I believe, in this whole Rumble stage so far. And they're hoping to see more like it. It's a great, powerful shot by Symmetry there, just beating Dextrax away. And now, 1-1. 4 minutes 30 left on the clock. Still anyone's game as the kickoff goes towards SGS first shot. But it doesn't even matter as the ball falls towards Dexter's as he's taking his time over into the side as Dextrax is trying to use a bit of fancy car work, not footwork, car work. And it's amazing play by him as it's just still falling towards the side of Resilience as they're just keeping so much pressure on this side of SGS first shot. And it's taken past one with a lovely dummy by Resilience there as it's pushed away. But they have so much time. They don't need to do much about this. Killer Boss just trying to get anything he can, but Dextrax on that backboard, able to cover, pushing it back into the half of SGS first shot. And the pre-jump coming out from Dexter's, but just shy of it as if drift. A lovely bit of aerial skill going for the flip reset, but it's an amazing block by Resilience's side. And now Dexter's on the other half, trying the same, but not able to get anything from it as Symmetry getting the shot away. Dextrax getting a lovely save. Drift getting another shot away again. But yet again, Dextrax is just there in that defense. He's so ready for it. And it's a nice ground pinch over from the side of Resilience. Just being able to try and push this up. But yet again, and lovely save. It's just so back and forth in this game. And I feel like this is so much better than what we've seen in the past 2 games, where it's just been constantly one-sided, especially that second game. So one-sided. Are you happier that this one is more of a back and forth?
Yeah, I feel like Resilience, they had the confidence. They thought they were going to win this from the start. They got a goal. SGS got a goal. I feel like SGS getting a goal has boosted their confidence and boosted their mentality a bit, and they're coming back from this.
Well, I mean, they really need that mentality and that boost in confidence, as they've just seemed so lackluster in these first 2 games, despite them even getting a goal, but they're getting so many more shots away, as Drift has another one for the side of SGS First Shot. But it's so heartbreaking to see how good this defensive resilience is, as they're just so ready for everything. But the nice little fake as he baited the side of SGS First Shot into that challenge. But it's a great pre-jump from Killer Boss. Can he do anything with it as he jumps off? But it's just saved by Dexter, as they are now on the attack. Resilience are going to be trying to take everything that they can from this game, as they need another goal to try and slot this away. But still, so much time to play with. 2 minutes left. Dexter's a lovely touch by him as he's taking it all the way. He's getting a bit of dribbling, but where's Symmetry? He's going wide, but Killer Boss was ready for it. And it's just unlucky as Drift just wasn't able to get there in time. And it's now another goal for Resilience. It's yet again another winning position for Resilience, and Drift just unable to get their Symmetry. Was caught out in no man's land, just floating in the air. And it's so unlucky by the side of SGS First Shot of how much better they have looked in this game compared to the first 2 rounds so far. And it doesn't even matter because this could be a goal here, but Dexter's able to take his time, take all the momentum that he needed by coming in from the side and getting that ball away nicely with a lovely defensive block, as it's now pushing back over towards SGS First Shot's half as it hits off the roof. But apparently Cold not able to do much with it as Symmetry flicks it over the side, but it's a lovely aerial coming in from Dexter's as he gets that ball back towards the defense and going to be pushing them so much that they're going to be causing mistakes. But what a fake from Dexter's to send him flying, but unable to do anything with it, as the defense was still strong from SGS First Shot, like we have seen in these past 2 games. Such a strong defense, but their attack is just a bit lackluster. They're not able to get as much potential as they can. But as I'm saying this, I may be eating my words, as Symmetry's now on the attack as he passes it towards Killer Boss, but not able to do anything. But Drift, yeah, so much boost to work with, but not able to get up to the height that he needed to try and slot that ball away. But it's a great dunk over from the side of SGS First Shot with Killer Shot, trying to just get that ball away and into that net with 45 seconds left on the clock. Still 2-1 to Resilience. Symmetry taking his time for the ball, going for the aerial, not able to get anything with that, but it's Drift trying to get to that ball in time, but just slightly misses it, may have flipped the wrong way, and apparently Cold is now on this attack. Not a lot of boost to work with, but able to push it back 1-0 boost in the tank. Needs to try and pile drive this down as it goes towards its Symmetry with a nice save away from apparently Cold's shot on target, which I thought was more of a cross there. But now Dexter's 12 seconds left. Can Dexter's do anything with it as he leaves it for apparently Cold? Apparently Cold not able to get that shot away as much as he wanted to. And SGS First Shot need this. They need him to miss that ball. It's just 1 second left on the clock. Now it is all to play for. Once this ball touches the ground, this could be game. But whoa! Off the ball! It's so close. He hits it off the post as it just slightly missed and it bounced. 0 seconds. It bounces on the line. That's what they needed. They needed that goal. They needed to try and stay in that. But it's a 3rd win towards Resilience. And it's so unlucky for the side of SGS First Shot. Do you think they could have clawed that back and won in overtime if they were managed to get that ball just in on that 0 second shot?
Yeah, I think they could have. That was unlucky, that timing. That just, it went in, and as it hit the floor, it stopped midway. That was unlucky time. That is what they needed to draw and go to overtime. I reckon they could have won that with how they were playing if they got that goal in.
Well, they were playing so well, and I thought we were going to see a Justin moment for a second there. It may not have been a Game 7, and it may not have been a winner for the overall tournament, but honestly, it was such an amazing shot there, and it was so well played by SGS First Shot. I really thought that was going in, but bouncing just off the line. It's so unlucky for their side as they've been trying so hard. Now, what are your thoughts on Tameside Titans? They've been quite well in this tournament so far, they have, and they're just trying to push themselves up to try and get as far as they can in just the whole of this the Rumble stage. So we have the likes of Loughborough Lycans and BSDC Swans, who are coming out so strong in this Group A. Do you think Tameside Titans will be able to push themselves up towards this Group A?
I feel like they might be able to, depend on how they play. If they play quite well, have some good teamwork, then I feel like they might be able to.
Well, it's just, as we're talking about team side, Resilience have just came straight off this kickoff with a goal 6 seconds in. It's so fast that we didn't even have time to notice that anything happened there. And honestly, what a goal that was by the side of Resilience. They needed that, and this could be possibly the end. Is it a great save by Dexter's? What a shot that was. I thought that was bound to go in. That was such an amazing shot coming out from him, but it was just sadly pushed away by Dexter's, and what a save that was. I did not expect that at all. That was honestly amazing from them.
Honestly, Resilience look like they're playing good, but just by the confidence looking by SGS, they look like they're coming back on this game. Like, hey, Asymmetry's going for the ball. He's bringing it down. They're doing so much. Yeah, the teamwork's a lot better. It just feels like they've got more confidence. I feel like they might win this game and might get a game on Resilience.
Well, I sure hope that they do win a game, because I would love to see a bit of a longer stream here. It'll be so much more entertaining for the fans, especially if we're able to go to a game 7. Let's go back to a bit on the team side. Team side, they are 3-0 so far. They are guaranteed to be going up to Group B. Now, chat, I know that you wanted to hear a lot about these, and I believe that they will be able to possibly crawl their way into Group A, as we still do have some more Rumble in the presence for the next coming weeks, and they'll be able to go up to this Group B here. And I believe that they'll be able to take on the side of Resilience Mid-Kent. They'll be able to take on the side of SGS First Shot. And I believe, you know, they've won against Tangerines before as well. And that's if they even go up, depending on how their game today goes. Well, I believe that team side will be able to do very well. They were so strong last year as well. And with these new changes to how it works, you know, it'll be great to see how well they play. But look at this. So many demolitions coming in, as if Drift gets a 1 onto Killer Boss, as Killer Boss then gets taken out again by Dexter. It's just unfair on this side. There's so much back and forth going in the demolition side of it. Not much in the gameplay. But apparently Cold just trying to get a little bit onto that, as Symmetry's pushing it back down the pitch, as Dexter gets bumped away by his teammate there. Apparently Cold, as it Killer Boss is going up for it, but not as far as Dexter's, who pushes it back up to the defensive side of SGS First Shot. Dexter's getting the demolition over towards Symmetry. Needs to do that just to try and get a bit more time for his team to come and calm it down. As Dexter's going up for the aerial, and it's a great goal by Dexter's. That is 2-0 on the scoreboard for Resilience. And it's looking like they might actually prove a bit of a menace towards Tameside Titans when it comes to the Group B sessions.
Yeah, Resilience look like they're doing really good. I think they would make it possibly into Group A. By the looks of their gameplay and all the stuff they're doing, it looks like they're way ahead of SGS so far.
Yeah, well, it'll be great to see how well they'll be able to play in this Group B side once they get demoted, which is sad for them, especially with how well they are playing in this game against SGS First Shot. But that must just prove how good Swans are and how good the other team are. Like, it's so dominating in these games that you'd think Loughborough Lycans and BDSC Swans are just on a completely different level compared to these two teams. And you honestly wonder how these teams even got into Group A together. But, you know, they did prove themselves in that Swiss stage, both of these teams. They did prove that they deserved to be here. A lot of goals on it. I believe both teams only conceded 3 out of the 3 games they played. I believe it was SGS First Shot only conceded in their last game as well, with a 4-3 win, but winning 4-0 against every other team. But now it doesn't even matter. It's just a lovely bit of play by Dexter. That's just what you love to see. The control on that car is just prime Ronaldinho, maybe a bit of Neymar. And honestly, it's just like they've been reincarnated into this car. Maybe even they're the drivers. A bit of Lewis Hamilton mixed with a bit of Neymar. You know, it's what you love to see. It's such a lovely match of people together with how well that aerial was, and just slotting that away for 3-0 for Resilience in only a minute and 20 left on the clock. And it's almost another goal, making it 4. But I think SGS First Shot are out of this game. You know, apparently Cold shouting sorry there in the chat. He must be sorry for something. Maybe it's the domination that they're showing towards the side of SGS First Shot. Maybe it's just taking the ball away from his teammates. But this could be a consolation goal, as Killer Boss just misses the net, hitting where the post and the crossbar meet. and 50 seconds left for first shot to try and get 3 goals minimum onto the side of Resilience, who've looked so strong in both aspects of defense and attack. His Symmetry taking the ball, need to try and get it pushed up as Istra taking it away from him, which is probably the best decision, but not the best decision there, as Killer Boss had a lot of time there and had a lot of space to push that up over at the side of Resilience, and it could have been so well for them. But another shot coming out, and there it is. This could be the comeback coming on. 3-1, 30 seconds, still all to play for. They need to get the best kickoff that they've ever done in their Rocket League lives. They need to try and get as much as they can on this. Even a kickoff goal would suffice. Just need to try and equal up the scoreline as much as they can. And it's looking like it was a decent attempt at a kickoff there, as the ball's now going to float near the net, but just shy and just a bit too far away from that near post. It's now looking like it's back over towards the side of Resilience. Apparently called shadowing Symmetry here, while as Dexter's goes up for it. Symmetry just pogoing on the floor there, but Killer Boss not able to do much, and there's just shot away from Drift. 5 seconds left on the clock. They needed that, but that is going to be it. Can they get this final consolation goal as the flip reset comes out? Sets it perfectly up for Killer Boss, but it doesn't matter. It's all gone, and it is a 3-2 win towards the side of Resilience. And we were both so wrong. We thought that this was going to be a closer game here. We thought it was going to be a 4-2. We thought that was going to be a 4-3. But one thing we did get right was the guess on Resilience to win. They both played so well in this, but the attacking side of Resilience was just so much stronger by SGS than SGS First Shot's defense. Even though they were able to hang on and kept the games relatively close for how many shots that Resilience had. It could have been so much more. It could have been a 6. It could have been a 7. It could have been an 8-0. So how do you think these teams will be able to fare when they drop down into Group B? Who do you think will be coming out on top? Because I believe from what we've just saw there, Resilience might be able to make their way back up into this Group A.
Yeah, I reckon they will. Like, honestly, Resilience have played so well that game. 4-4 was unbelievable. Not what I expected. I reckon SGS, they're a good team, but they just weren't all there today. Just not good enough to beat Resilience. Resilience played absolutely amazing. That last goal, though, with the flip reset that they got just in time, was honestly absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it was a good set of play, but it sadly just amounted to nothing, you know. It was the goal a little too late. 2 little goals too late. And maybe if that 0-second goal went in that third match, this could have been a completely different match. You know, they needed that. That would have took them straight into overtime. And they could have, because their attacking in that game looked so strong, and it looked like they were able to get a bit more of a press onto the side of Resilience in that game. But as soon as they went in that 4-4 after being robbed away from that goal in that last second to take it to overtime, it just looked like their confidence was so shocked. They were able to get a few goals there. They were able to bring it to 3-2, but it was just too late for SGS First Shot. And I really would I can't wait for when these next set of games come through. I hope we're able to cast a bit of maybe Resilience versus Tameside. We have fans of Tameside in the chat. They want to know how they're going to do. And, you know, they're getting promoted up into this Group B next, and these are getting demoted down into Group B. I would love to see how well these guys play against each other. And when they do face each other, what do you think the scores will be? You know, Tameside coming out 3-0 in their games, and these, Resilience coming out 2-1 in their games. Who do you think will be able to take the victor against both of them?
It's a tough one. I reckon Tameside might, just looking at the statistics, I reckon Tameside might come through against them. But looking at how Resilience played, their players are absolutely amazing. Like, honestly, I think it would be a close one. 2 good teams going against each other, that would be a really close game.
Definitely a close one, maybe a bit of a 4-3 action, you know, like we predicted today. But I mean, there's always a bit of caster's curse when it comes to games like this, you know, esports. It's such a prevalent thing, and it's caster's curse always happens. And we would just, we would have loved to see a bit more. We'd love to give you a bit more of entertainment for these games and hopefully make it a bit closer. But sadly, we're just watching the games. We're just casting them just like you. We have no impact on these games. But it's just so unlucky. But I thank you everyone for coming to this British Esports. I believe this was week 7, week 3 of the Rumble, and we will see you next time. See you all later.
See you later.